I remember he created his, see, Harley always had the fictional, good imagination, and I always had the creative mind. And we had lots of Lego when we were kids. And he created his own four-wheel drive club because we were so into four-wheel drives. And he called it Sarley. And he had all his full Lego four-wheel drives. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. So I created my own four-wheel drive club not long after and called it Semri. So original. No, I copied everything he did. When we were kids, and it hasn't changed much, there'd be a big group of friends, and I want to be friends with these people, so we'd go and he'd chat with them and hang out, and I'm like, I don't care, I'll be friends with them eventually, and they'd all get so driven nuts by him that they'd come and hang out with me anyway. But he's always had this leadership mentality. He's a born leader, born to lead people, and when we were kids he would come up with all of the scenarios, all the storylines. I can see Jack over there nodding his head, he remembers. And he came up with, we had this, we were all secret agents, and we all had our nicknames. He was Dash, I was Flex, and we all had our special abilities. He was the leader, I was the guy who bashed everyone up. He was the tech guy, but we didn't get to choose who we were. Harley laid it all out. He was like, you do this, you do that, and then this is what our team's going to do, and these are the bad guys, and we'd just be like, oh, okay. You know? He's still a natural born leader. It's just a bit more acceptable these days. Pastor in a church. When I've got a very clear memory from when I would have been 3 or 4 years old and I had my first big asthma attack. And it was pretty serious. I had a fairly serious asthma attack, and I don't remember anything from it other than what people have told me, except this one thing. And I remember looking at Harley, bawling his eyes out, screaming, Emery's gonna die! You know, and it was that moment that I realized that he actually liked me. And you know how it is when you're young. And I was like, this is a brotherly thing. Like, brotherly love is like that, you know, no matter how much you wish the worst upon your brother, you don't want it to actually happen because you don't really love it. No, we couldn't be less alike. When we were kids, my parents tell the story, we went to Center Point Tower. It would have been 2002, like a year after 9/11. And we went up to the top of the tower, and I was like, oh, sweet. And I ran to the window. The windows are slanted like this, and went, boom. So I'm looking down, and everything, oh, this is awesome. And Harley's up there, like, in the middle of the floor, and sees a plane way off in the distance. He's down on the ground. It's gonna come and hit us. And he was terrified. So scared of heights. And I had no fear whatsoever. We couldn't be less alike. What else? Yeah, I was always, like I said before, I always had the constructive mind, and Harley was always imagining too. We had a Lego, and I was always the one who would build stuff because that's all I cared. I was like, I want to build something, and I build something cool, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool, look, I built something else, and Harley would be like, oh, Emery built something cool. And he'd play with it, and he'd come up with scenarios, come up with characters, he'd name things. He had this wild imagination, and I was like, I don't care, I'll just build some more stuff. Harley, he's always been the better eater, as in I'm very picky, but I'm a much better cook. Yeah, Harley was he's always been so inspired to learn and be an educated person, which is why now he's married the smartest person I've ever met. he was always in books, and I'm illiterate, so. Harley's always been the spender, I've always been the saver. Harley's always been the better driver, but he always hates working on cars. I've always been the better preacher, but I hate being up front. I'm shaking up here. Yeah, we both inherit. If anyone knows my dad, you know, if you're into cars and you have a question, you go talk to Dad. And if he can't figure it out, he calls his dad. He's a car guru, but he also knows his Bible better than anyone I know. And Harley and I inherited different sides of his brain. Harley inherited the Bible side, and I inherited the car side. But we both get it straight from Dad. Harley's always aspired to be more of a nerd and more of a geek. I've always aspired to be a bigger bogan. Harley always collected, we're getting to the older years of our lives. He always collects his board games and his books. And I've always collected cars and tools and engines. But though we could be so far vastly different, we could not be closer. I love my brother, and that's why I'm so glad that he's marrying Eliza, because I see how happy he is with her. You make him so happy, and that makes me happy because I love my brother. And very happy to welcome you to the family. In Claire's speech, she said that when Harley finally opened his eyes, Eliza made sure she was standing in front of him, and I think I know why he finally opened his eyes. See, on my honeymoon, he called me up, and he was like, and he had I specifically remember what he said. He said, "I have a new prospect for a potential wife." So he seen me get married, and he finally opened his eyes, and Eliza was standing right there in the scene. I was on my honeymoon, and he called me up, and he started telling me he was so excited. Now Harley calls me up and tells me that. He's told me that. I've had a few of those phone calls. But this one was different. This one was very different. I was like, this might be a thing. And I think this will be a thing. And the further it's gone, you know how when you see couples that are dating, and you're like, yeah, they're gonna get married for sure. That was it. I was like, 100%, she's gonna be my sister-in-law, not too long from now. It was pretty sure. Yeah, and he put down, if you've read the program, he put down that the marriage was on June 2020 because he wanted to get married before me. A wise man once said that there aren't intelligent people, there are just people more motivated to educate themselves. I said that just now. I've always thought that true. All right, slow down. I always thought that true, Harley. He's always been so motivated to educate himself, and that's why he's a very intelligent person. One of the most intelligent people I know. And I always thought that was true, until I met Eliza. She is just naturally very intelligent and one of the most motivated people to learn that I've ever met. And I've got a lot to learn from her, because I'm the type of person that thinks education is a big sham. We've had our debates and she's always come out on top, though I don't like to admit it. We're so glad to welcome you to the family, Eliza. Yeah, we love you already, and it's going to be great. If I had advice for you guys, yeah, keep Jesus close to your relationship. A verse that was very close to my heart when I got married, and Jasmine's heart, was that a three-stranded cord is not easily broken. And there's two of you, but you need God to be that third strand. Because a two-stranded cord is easier broken. But yeah, God bless, guys. Welcome to family, Eliza. Love you, bro.